What's happening, photogs? Peter von Panda here. Hey, I just picked up this Evo 2 floaty extension pole. I guess we would call it a selfie stick. So what I wanted to show you is that I'm going to go around, be on vacation. I definitely need a selfie stick. I really like selfie sticks because I don't always have someone, because I'm a lonely man, to take the shots and the video that I want, or want to inconvenience them. You used to be like, excuse me sir, would you mind taking a photo? But you don't want to be like, excuse me sir, would you mind following me around for 15 or 20 minutes and take a lot of B-roll? The selfie sticks are really useful. I know people kind of like poo-poo them. Now, I do have a little lanyard here with a push-button slider lock on it. It says Aqua on it, and it has a pretty beefy metal screw at the end here. So I'm assuming that goes here on the bottom. You can see a brass fitting, kind of like a camera lens, but or camera stand, and then this would go in there so you don't drop it, or if you do drop it, it's gonna hang on your wrist. Now the cool thing about this is that it will float too, and we'll take a look at that and test it out. In here we have, looks like GoPro style attachment accessories. So we have a tool, another lanyard, and then we have some additional accessories. So you can see here at the top we have kind of that three-bladed GoPro mount. You put this on here, you could throw this in here and tighten everything down. Getting these lined up sometimes takes a little fiddling. There we go. And then I could tighten that down. And what this does is it gives me that standard screw for tightening on a camera right there. Okay. There's a little rubber pad on there for grip, I guess. Part here is attached, but what you might be able to see is this clear handle, the plastic on it, which makes it essentially buoyant and waterproof. It, extend it out, it'll have a lot of volume and it'll float. It does have this little collar here, so if I just loosen that up a little bit, what you can see now is that I can pull the inner bar out. You can actually see the bottom of it coming up here, and it's actually, there we go, okay. And then if I tighten this down, kind of seal that up, make it airtight again, and what we get is a pretty long selfie stick, right? So that's pretty cool. And looks like if your GoPro has a remote, like the standard GoPro remote there's a little clamp here to slide that in so you can control your GoPro. Now, you don't have to use a GoPro, right? Like I said, this is a mount that would fit just kind of any standard camera mount. I've got a stretchy and expandable one right here. And if I were to screw this in here, look at that. All right, no problems there. So what I could do is use this with my camera, or any smartphone really, and that's what we're gonna try. Using the floating selfie stick. Wish I could show it to you. It's pretty comfortable to hold, and because it apparently will float, it's actually really light, and it's kind of big. It's good if you have like arthritic or hurt hands, but man, look at this. Woo! Try to walk into the sun to get good lighting. Hey, so this is pretty cool. I really like the fact that it definitely works as a selfie stick. I'm using the front side of the camera too, so there's no optical image stabilization as I'm kind of walking around here. But I will say, the next thing I need to figure out is if this stick really does float. I'm actually kind of bugging on how to try to demonstrate that. So here's the test that I'm really fascinated with, and probably are too. Have the selfie stick here, have it extended, even have the lanyard in on the bottom, and I have attached my Q-Show action camera, not a GoPro, but probably about the same size and weight, and I have my bathtub partially filled with water here, and I'm just going to throw this in. Now, just like Mythbusters, I'm going to take a guess. I think the camera is too heavy. I think it's going to, the camera portion is going to sink, but I think the handle will float. I think we'll just toss it in here and see what it does. Go! Oh man! I was wrong! Myth busted. Look at this. This whole thing is floating, including the camera. The camera looks like it's maybe neutrally buoyant, or maybe just a little bit too heavy to float on its own. But as you can see here, the handle is floating no problem. And I think that little extra lift from the handle is keeping that camera floating. So the nice thing about this bad boy is it absolutely works as a flotation device for preserving your camera. Man, I'm stoked by that. That is funny. Clever, clever, clever. And super comfortable to use, super light, still retracts and extends. A great overall selfie stick. And if you're anywhere near water, you don't want to lose your camera, I think this is the one you have to have. I'll put a link to it in the description. Peter Von Panda out.